Hey world, Shanile Shakoor here with Mr. Keyon Lomax. How you doing? Founder and facilitator of the franchise. Whereas we give men and we build men, give them resources and tools to basically function more efficiently in life via conversation parties. I'm also owner and operator now at a barbershop for the past 15 years, and hopefully here today that I can share some wisdom and experiences here and interact with my brother Keyon, and hopefully together we'll learn something.
Now, I don't get excited about the new year, but I'm excited about people who will embrace a new mindset.
Exactly. I think what you said is key. In talking today, we will talk about some things that I believe would help, folks going into the new year. And, talking about the importance of planning, I think planning is really important. It's tremendous. Without having a plan, you're really walking aimlessly. You're kind of drifting through life. Martin Luther King once said, whatever, you can't change what you're not willing to confront. So, in your plan, you're confronting some things. And, in our conversations, as we always do, we unravel and we tear the lid off of, so many topics. So I'm just, blessed and pleased to be here to, share some things, with you and receive some things along with the audience. So I'm excited. I try to look at what people, really get excited about. And one of the things that people really get excited about is sports. And, I like to tell stories and, just kind of give people, as well as myself, another point of view in terms of looking at things. So I run into a lot of people and have friends who are into fantasy football, are into just sports, period. And while we're at the beginning of the year, we always plan for our teams at the beginning of the season, actually before the season even starts. And we run down stats, we look at what our team needs. Oh, we need a quarterback, or we need a running back, we need defense, we need to strengthen our defensive line. In the fourth quarter, we don't do too well. So when you look and you analyze a team to that point and you're trying to get to a certain goal, which is the Super Bowl or either the championship if you're talking about basketball, or the World Series if you're talking about baseball. Now, if we took it from a different angle and we looked at our lives and we said, you know what, let me take that same energy and momentum and let me look at my family. Let's see what my family needs. Let me see what I need in order to get to where I am in January, to where I need to be or where I want to be in December. And we start plotting those things out. This is now let's look at our statistics. This is how much I'm making each week. This is my overhead. My gas and electric is such and such. My rent is such and such. So forth and so on. And as we're looking at these statistics and we're lining up our goals and we're planning out our lives, and we take that same thing and we look at our children and say, you know what, they didn't do so good in the fourth marking period last year. Why didn't they do so good? Because, well, maybe they're looking towards summer, so they kind of slacked off. The same thing as we do for our team. Well, we're not good, we're not too good in the fourth because our, franchise is tied and we don't have, a line, and we're constantly getting slaughtered. So these are the things that we just sort of shift a little bit, just to shift a little bit of our momentum to some things that are important to us and that will actually bear some fruit, within our lives. I think one, it would, lessen frustration that we have. It would lessen stress, in our lives. And I think that, overall, that we will be happy. Not only just happy because of, ourselves, but I think happy because we would be a joy to be around. We would be more pleasant. So we'll be giving more of ourselves.
If you truly plan it out because it's something that you want to do, because you're not just talking, right? Oh, I want to make more money. And you want to actually do something to make more money. Or, oh, I want to quit smoking. Or, oh, I want to, lose weight. Or, oh, I want to, and improve the quality of life that I have with my family, or the relationships that I have with my siblings or my kids. Like, you're not just talking about it and then you actually put a plan to it. It's like, okay, now I'm taking control of my life.
That's right.
So when you were talking about planning, I'm like, wow, that makes it so real, right? So now you don't just have to just exist or think that you are a victim or think that things just happen to you by happenstance, but now you're taking your life over, you're controlling your life. You're saying like, listen, I need to do this. Here's my plan to do it. Here's how I'm going to execute it. Here's how I'm going to get there. So point A is January 2014. Point B is what you want to accomplish, what you want to do this year, you know, and how you want to get there between January and December, and not looking at the overall big goal within itself, but what you need to do every single month, every single week, even if you got to break it down to every single day to make it smaller. You know, and I think I shared it with you before. It's a saying that I heard a long time ago that I absolutely love. Yard by yard, life is hard. Inch by inch, life is cinch. So you just break it down piece by piece by piece, because you're not going to give a baby a steak.
Right.
Because he can't eat it, can't digest it. So you got your big goal. It's okay to have a big goal. And now what my brother's saying is, have a plan and then execute your plan throughout the year. So now you're not getting to June, July, and you feel like you're so far away from your goal that you just give up.
Right.
Just to give you a little bit of history and background, you know, he's a successful business owner, you know, in the community, you know, just doing some tremendous things, not just for himself and for his family, you know, but truly putting himself out there, you know, putting his business out there to be a platform for other people to do things and big things. He's a person that when I think of, you know, planning, you know, I know he's really, really good with paperwork. I know he's really good with, you know, executing the plan and making things happen and bringing it to life, you know. So when he said he wanted to discuss planning, I was like, wow, what a perfect person to talk about planning. You know, based on everything that you know, do already in your life, you know, being an active father, you know, being an active participant in their school, and, you know, different things like that, and all the different functions that you do, and all of, you know, the mentoring, everybody else pulling on you, you know, as a man, as a friend, as a brother, as a father, as a husband, as a mentor, all of these things, you know, and yet you're still able to plan and execute and set goals and hit.
Keyon Lomax is someone that I look at towards as my mentor. And, you know, I've known this brother, you know, for years now. He's been putting in work, been talking about, you know, various topics, have been helping people not only in their personal lives, but as well as in business. You know, phenomenal life coach. You know, I've seen the testimonies from people who have, you know, spoken with you, who you have worked with. You know, very successful businessman, and I just respect your wisdom, and, you know, just being here, being able to share, you know, mind to mind is big. And since I spotlighted you as, you know, my mentor first, something that you taught me, and you were saying that one time before we were talking, having you know, one of our conversations, and you were saying that, you know, while you're out and, you know, you're constantly, you know, giving, you're pouring, you know, yourself into, you know, other people. He said you need someone that is above you, that's pouring into you. You know, so I take that with me. It's almost a part of me now, and that I keep those things in me. It's almost like a nourishment. That, okay, you know what? I know this is what I need in order to keep doing what I do. Whether that be reading, praying, meditating, and also giving thanks and my guidance to God.
Well, a lot of times what happens is, you know, we have this, you know, perception that, you know, oh, you're not in my shoes, you're not in my life, so therefore you don't know exactly what it is that I'm going through. You know, you're just on the outside looking in, you know, which I think depreciate, you know, the value of a different view. Because sometimes from the outside looking in, you can see things that you can't see while you're in. You know, that's where the saying comes from, you can't see the forest while you're in the tree. You know, I heard someone tell me before, they were talking about how you have a tour guide. You have a tour guide, right? And the tour guide has been down this particular road before, up this mountain before, whatever it is that you're going through, whatever the excursion is, right? Whatever the journey is, right? Now that tour guide is great, but you also have another tour guide that you don't even know, right? If you had a guide that had a view from the helicopter, would you agree they can see things a lot different than what you can see down in the valley and while you're going through this journey? That's how God's view it. So I think that when you have a God-appointed mentor, someone that God put in your life for a particular reason to help you grow and to help you become a better person, God has already equipped them with something inside of them to help bring out and unlock something that's inside of you. And the view is completely different.